In today's video, guys, we're gonna check Elminster's performance in the Temporal Vortex. We're gonna see if he's good enough as a support hero to sustain our team, this being one of the most important content in the game. Now, this video is sponsored by Dragonheir Silent Gods. I just want to give a big shout out to them. If you guys are new to the channel or you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent Gods just yet, this is the perfect moment. Season 2 is in full swing. The second phase of the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration event is on, bringing richer events and rewards for the players. We have two new powerful mages joining the Dragonheir universe, Elminster, Aumar, and Semester. We have a new legendary artifact, we have a new storyline, we have new challenges, a brand new map, a new boss that we can challenge daily with two different phases, and that's just to keep us busy. Of course, we have some new amazing cosmetics, we have a new avatar frame, and we have some new die skins too, which look pretty cool. So if you guys want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment, or scan the QR code you see on the screen, guys, to download Dragonheir Silent Gods now. But talking about the very main topic of today's video, guys, Elminster versus the Temporal Vortex. So the rules for this week, guys, are not necessarily in our favor. We have 30% more lightning damage. We're gonna run Fire and Necrosis because that's the elemental affinity for Season 2. Shields granted are increased by 75%, which will be massive for us. And the healing is reduced by 25%. Not necessarily the best thing, but we should be able to dodge that. Now, I'm going to show you a few different teams. I'm going to show you a few examples for Season 1 where you have the combination of fire and poison. I feel like that's a bit stronger than what we have in this season. So you've already seen this team in action before. We reached 30 plus million damage. Now this time around, we are struggling to reach 25 on difficulty 4, guys. I've tried all sorts of different combinations of timings, and it just doesn't cut it off, unfortunately. And that's mainly because we don't have our damage increased, you know, and it is pretty hard to make it work. I'm sure somehow I'll be able to figure it out and get it to 25 million damage, but it's struggling, okay? Struggling, and I already have a few legendary artifacts involved, you know. Then we have this team as another example. This as well was struggling to reach 25 million damage. I just want to show you his potential in here, guys, because I honestly don't think he's going to be very game-changing for the Vortex. He can be more important for Arena, which is true, right? If you are a PvP enjoyer. And he can be more useful for other content like Feymander, Pillar of Trials, but that's something that I cannot really test in here. I do want to show you this because this is the most important content in the game. One of the most important, right? You're going to do it every day for the entire duration of the season. This one right here is the worst because you only have to support champions, and his shield with the healing from Megan is just not enough to keep your team alive to deal enough damage. Then we have this team right here, which we're going to run right now, and this is actually pretty interesting. So this is the first time I'm using Flora, guys, by the way. I have a Gladros. He will actually give me a massive shield. I really don't think I need the Aurelium Vest, so let's actually just change that and see if we're going to be able to get it done without it. And his shield is based on attack, so I'm going to look to get something that will give me a lot of attack, a different artifact that will increase my my attack, and that will be the Manticore. Let's get the Manticore on him. That will drop some of his survivability stats, but that's fine. So no Aurelium Vest on him. I do run the fans on Flora for more damage. I have, of course, the legendary artifact for Elminster, and then I have Witch's Remains. The same sort of situation in here. Megan is going to be the tank. I could replace Megan and bring in a different tank, but I won't have any healing, you know, so that's my main problem. I don't think the shields are going to be enough, you know, like we're struggling to stay alive past a certain point, and the main goal is to reach 25 million damage, and this is with two more legendary heroes in the team, guys. You know, it's not something easy to achieve. I'll be very honest with you. It's pretty hard to make him work in the Vortex. Now with Adolphus, that was the initial team. It is much easier to keep the shields up for a long time, you know. And that's what timings we have on this team. But let's crack on with the run, and then we're gonna discuss a bit about some different potential teams for Season 1. In Season 3, maybe he's going to be even better. I think we're going to have Fire and Radiance as a elemental affinity. But then again, you have Garius. Maybe you're going to be able to get the Gatekeeper staff. Maybe you don't have it now. Maybe you just don't have it now. But maybe you're going to summon a dupe till Season 3. You're going to purchase that artifact, and that completely kills any other shield champion in the game. Garius with the Gatekeeper staff is just too freaking powerful, you know? And you're definitely not going to keep Elminster over him in your team, 100%. You might combine them. You might combine them together, though. So that's a different thing that you could do, 100%, you know? You will keep shield for a much longer time. You're going to have the decreased attack from him. You're going to have the shield and more healing from Garius, which is going to be super strong. And then you can bring in 2 damage dealers. You can go in with Airreach and Tunnelnun. You can go in with some Radiance damage dealers maybe, and still manage to get some awesome result, you know. Now Flora, she's definitely on my most wanted list, guys. She's an exclusive hero because she has that legendary artifact, right? But I really wanna get her. You know, she's just too good. This looks a bit better than the other teams. We are doing a lot of damage per turn compared to what we had before, and if we would have a Tunnelnun in here as well, guys, the damage would be much better. Now Gladros, the epic hero, he will actually still increase attack from the boss, okay? And he will generate a bigger shield. The more attack he has, the bigger the shield he generates. So I had to put a timing on him to make sure we have the shield from him at the right moment, basically. So we survive both of these last hits, especially when we don't have decreased attack, you know. So he's shielding right here, and from here on, we should be safe. Like, the boss shouldn't really break this shield as long as we have everything in order. So decrease attack. Hopefully we're not gonna get resisted, and that won't mess us up, you know. But it's pretty hard to keep that decreased attack under control properly, especially if he's not landing it when you need it. Sometimes he's just not gonna land it, and this skill right here, the third one, will be dangerous. Will be really dangerous. Now, because I have a bit of skill haste on Elminster, he will slowly change the cycle of when he's using that battle skill. So it will slowly overlap the boss more and more. And the more we go into the fight, the faster he's going to use the shield, and we are going to be covered for this hit right here. Plus, we do have a defense up from Megan there, so hopefully that will keep her alive. I do have the Scarab amulet on her, which again should help us to keep the hero alive. But how I mentioned, I'll be very honest with you guys. I do think you can find some niche teams with Elminster for the Vortex. I do think he can be helpful in there. But I really don't think his main role is to be a Vortex champion, you know, a Vortex hero. I think definitely much better for Arena. I feel like Arena is going to be one of his strongest things that he will be able to do in the game. And Feymander, because of the control that he has with the battle skill, and Pillar of Trials. That's where you'll be getting a lot of value from the hero. And I know a lot of you guys tend to be stuck in those two areas. I made a video the other day talking about what you should pick, the legendary hero or the legendary artifact. And I'll be honest, I do think the legendary artifact will offer more value. You know, like, I do think it's going to offer more value, and you will have to consider which one of them you want the most, you know. We are at 15 million damage. Hopefully we're not going to have any issues. We only have 35 stacks of attack on the boss. My Ice Blast team with Garius survives all the way up to 240 stacks, okay? So hopefully this will be able to put in some work as well. It will not be just a disappointment. It is pretty. I've tried quite a few teams and was pretty hard to make them work, you know, like, not gonna lie, I've probably tried teams for the last 2 hours and something, you know. just to see what I can do with him in here and to make something that's viable, that provides the top result. And unfortunately, yes, I do need to bring in some big gun legendaries to get to that point, you know. So this will shed some light and will really show you kind of like what sort of issues the hero might have in here, you know. Okay, so we have that shield. We get some healing. The shield stays up on her when he's using that skill. That's good. We need to have that to be in a safe spot. We definitely don't want to lose Megan too early. So we are at 20 million damage. The damage output is pretty good actually. You need to have the shield for the last skill for the ultimate on the boss. If not, that's going to hurt you. Okay, so seems like for the moment we're still fine with the shield on Megan there. The healing is just not enough in between the two shield heroes and Megan as being the only healer. I do think that Fire, Necrosis, and Frost, they need more support heroes. Even the lightning element as well. We do have Nathaniel in there, and we have a couple of different options, but in the long run, these elemental affinities will suffer more and more if they're not introducing heroes like Furbart, like Garius, you know, another Vorash, stuff like this. We need more heroes like this for all of the elemental affinities. I really expected to see that in season 2, seeing like a Furbart for the fire element and stuff like that, but was not the case. So we reached 25 million damage this time around as well with this team. We've done I've done a few different runs before where yeah, we got the 25 million without a problem with the team, you know. But the problem is you need Flora in here to really bring that 15 million damage. Like, even if I'm bringing in Tunnel Nun, I'm just not getting that damage. And we just lost Megan, unfortunately. And that's a bit of an issue. From here, the team will basically just crumble, you know. Megan, she is kind of like key to the whole thing. If I'm going to bring in Isolde, I won't be having healing. And I wanted to do one without using Adolphus. That's my main thing. I wanted to do another one without using Adolphus. You've seen the one that I've done with Adolphus before, and that was pretty good when we had 40% extra crit damage against the boss, you know. But now we don't have that, and the team is it is struggling a bit more. So let's see. I want to see the value of the shield granted by both of the heroes. 28 million damage. Honestly, for a team with Flora, this feels weak. This feels weak in my opinion. Okay, seems like my mouse just died. 1 second, let me just plug it in. Wrong moment for the mouse to go down. Okay, there we go. So at statistics, I checked. If you guys remember, I've mentioned it in a previous video. I'm not sure if the shield counts as healing. It does. So Gladros does not heal. And how you may notice, he provided us with shield. Wow, 52.1%. Elminster, 35.6%. And then, of course, Megan with 12.3%. It's not a lot of healing from her. So probably if I would change something in this team, it would be a different replacement for Megan. And it will be pretty hard to find one, honestly. I'm not really sure what other character could fit that role. Except Adolphus, you know. I could do an Adolphus, but that would be a bit crazy, you know. That would be pretty crazy, actually. So it's nice to see Gladros doing better work than Elminster, actually. But of course, that's the battle skill. Elminster does the decrease attack too. So if we would try to change something in this team, how I mentioned, I feel like changing one hero would probably be Megan, and I'll have to make a tank from one of these heroes. And probably one of the tank will be Gladros, or will be, of course, Adolphus. I do think Adolphus will do a better tank, you know. But that will kind of like ruin his shield, will ruin the value of his healing as well. No, we don't want a safe plan. If I would make a team for Season 1, guys, okay? Having Elminster in there. I know a lot of you guys might go for Elminster and you just started playing recently, or you might be playing for a few weeks, and Vortex is still a very, very important area for a lot of people. Now, here is actually a much better combination of heroes. So let's just say you have Furbart. You got a lot of healing, you're going to be spot on with that, and you can keep decreased attack for the entire duration of the fight, you know? He places it for 10 seconds. He's placing it for 10 seconds. This will already give you a lot of damage reduction. Will be a lot of help from there. Now you are still left with the part of needing a bit of a cleanse, needing something extra in there. So here you would have a few different options. And when we're talking about cleansers, you have either, of course, Reta, defense up and cleanse, damage reduction, the more debuffs you have on the enemy. So that's very, very nice. You're not really getting any extra healing from there. It's not a necessity. It's not something that you will really need. You can bring in, of course, Vikuk. He will give more attack penalty, but you won't need that anyway. And then you will have Dispel, two debuffs. So you're going to cleanse the defense down. And you're going to get a bit of healing from here too. So I feel like he might be the best combination, especially if you don't have Reta, the legendary hero. You can use Ashes. She does a cleanse too. Dispels one debuff from all allies. But she won't be giving you much else. She could deal some damage on the boss though, which is not bad. She's not necessarily the best damage dealer, but she can make some work, you know. I would probably try to use Vikuk if I would have him. And then it's a matter of damage, you know. And for me, in my opinion, the best 2 damage dealers that you could bring, you get Erich for free, right? In season 2, and you're gonna get him in the very first 2 weeks once you complete a part of the campaign. Then Tonelnan. This would be probably one of the best and most accessible teams for season 1 that has Elminster in it. Let me know in the comments down below. What are you running as a team for the Vortex? Any of you guys planning to use Elminster in the Vortex or not really? Very, very curious to hear your thoughts on it. But that was all for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to download Dragonheir Silent Gods, you can do so by clicking my link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen, and jump in, have some fun, guys. Join me in Dragonheir. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.